Go get Ellie, then we'll go back up and we'll go turn in that stuff. Put this shotgun away while we're...
You're adjusting before you pull.
What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean into it, embrace it, work with it. You're in control here, Parvati, not the gun. Don't let a hunk of metal jerk you around. You've been around powerful machinery all your life, and you're always in control, right?
I guess that's kind of like when the filler's shooting 600 cans of near molten cell tuna down the conveyor while I'm trying to tune a belt.
Here, stand like me, just so. Hips square, lean forward a little. It's just equipment, and you're just an engineer using it. Ah! Okay. We'll try again later. You'll get it. I promise.
No, they're not going to say anything else? I was hoping they'd continue, but... Oh, since I sent her back to the ship. Oh, crap. Gotta go back in again. But since I sent her back, she was unselected. And E is not to select. You can't go back in? Who are we turning the ladder in?
You find anything out there, you let me know. I'm ready to get off this rock. Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress. It is to me, but apparently it's junk to Sublight. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled. That was above my pay grade, but it didn't take a genius to figure out the higher-ups were working on something big. Months after I got out, I saw the advertisements for Adrena time. I just knew. This is it, Leonora. It was all for this. Getting the hell off Gorgon. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won. I lost. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind. I never saw him again. You're a quick study. This place is greedy. It took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's still here. That's it, all right. Law. Still smells like his whiskey, his cigarettes, and that awful cologne he bathed in every morning. Here. I saved up for this, just in case I needed to go out into the ruins myself. Truth be told, I'm glad I never had to use it. You didn't happen to find anything else out there, did you? Good. I should have been there for him, but I suppose he wanted to be alone in the end. Thank you for the flask. Jerome and I were supposed to live and die together, but sometimes fate has other plans. Time for me to get off this rock. Memories hang around here like a bad smell, and I could use some fresh air.
No point dwelling on the past. That's what I think, anyway.
That was a real kind thing you did, Captain. Maybe not what I would have wanted, but it looks to be what she needed.
Alright, so that one's done. Can't do this one still.
Sorry about Freddy and Trixie. When they're not fighting over salvage, they're fighting over the bed sheets at night. They like to blow off steam during work hours, but as soon as they clock out, they turn into a pair of kittens. So, what'll it be? Boy, when you sink your teeth into something, you really don't let go, do you? You're related to Lucky and Hawthorne? That's almost too much. Still, far be it from me to get between a man and his final wishes. Here. I don't know what it unlocks, but Lucky seemed to think it was important. I take him at his word. Come back when you're thirsty.
So what is it for? I wonder if it's for this. Oh, those are both Chem Lab. They still have that door we haven't opened. I'm guessing you go from here up to here. Or here to here. Oh, I guess we're going to Byzantine. Or Byzantium, sorry. We'll go visit her parents. Question is how do we want?
Captain, transmission request from Ambrose Manor.
Captain! Imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news. Someone? You mean someone still has access to the facility? Oh, after all this time. Who was it? That doesn't narrow it down by much, but I think you're onto something. Make sure you have eyes on the back of your head. I doubt we've seen the last of this human vexation. If I know Spacer's choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization, and layers of it. No, I think you're going to have to rely on good old-fashioned detective work. It's a good thing you have keen senses, a reliable ship, and a very wealthy sponsor. I seem to recall that Mother worked closely with Gorgon's R&D personnel, but not close enough to invite them over for dinner and cocktails, if you get my meaning. By now, they'll have moved on with their lives. If only I could do the same. I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time. What? No. I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late. Adrenatime was touted as the working man's best friend, a drug that boosted productivity with no adverse effects. The promise of adrenatime cannot be overstated. Exhaustion and fatigue were supposed to be obsolete. Workplace accidents would be things of the past. For whatever reason, the drug never lived up to that promise. I don't know. And thanks to Spacer's Choice, we may never find out. I know that I'd like to see a colony where the promise of adrenatime was fulfilled. And I doubt I'm the only one. Thank you. I certainly ought to know what I'm doing. I spent years trying to break into pharmaceuticals, professionally speaking. Mother wouldn't hear of it. She didn't think I had the wit to succeed in her line of work. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes? That's the spirit. Until next time, my good captain.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Oh. You mean I'm supposed to be meeting you? Nothing, it's just... I thought you'd be taller. Anyway, let's not get hung up on that. The Phoenix is a wanted man, and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, that's my codename for... you know, our mutual friend. Oh. I'm Golden Eagle. Yeah. I named you Cuckoo. It makes sense if you think about it. because I didn't know who you were, and old Earth cuckoos would routinely trick other birds into feeding them. That doesn't even make... Fine. Fine.
Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too? Fine, but make it a really good one.
Let's go with... Rufus Hummingbird.
Forget it. Codenames are for amateurs anyway.
Too late. I've already marked it off. Can't just go reassigning codenames.
Oh, can I be chicken? Because chickens will adopt any critter's baby and keep them warm.
You sure you don't want to be Raven or Sparrowhawk?
Aw.
Okay. Chicken it is. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
Here we got 11 flavors of terror rays and not much else. That kind of variety? I mean, gosh, seems almost impossible.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course. Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got.
I bet your repair folks couldn't find parts. Back in Edgewater, I'd have to take something apart just to put another thing back together.
Might have been the paperwork. Here, you have to append forms to your forms, and law help you if there's a single dash out of place. At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you? Except that's not how they go. At least that's not how they're supposed to go in Byzantium. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Ha. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean, can you even count how many times we've been shot at?
What work specialists, huh? Our mutual friend is really branching out. Good hunting, Golden Eagle.
screwing with that?
It's not gonna fix itself.
Don't we have repair drones for that kind of thing?
This was a repair drone.
You got nimble fingers, Captain.
Weird how half are like steel and others aren't.
That's what we really need, you know?
More of you standing in my light. What do you think you're doing? Yeah. Move along.
Do what I want. That's what I told you.
You gotta teach me that. Something on your mind?
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever...
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Want to be famous?
Anti-Creon energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups worth of concentrated caffeine every...
Kid, you got presence. Natural magnetism. Know what I mean? There's those street smarts. Just the right amount of rough around the edges. Next time, we'll have you say that over the rim of a Trippa Stout. Product placement, baby. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation? Yeah, and Chairman Rockwell's my assistant director. Here's some free advice. If you want to make it in this business, you gotta work with professionals. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid. I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime. It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star, and I think you got the chops.
Not so fast. First, we gotta talk about royalties.
Let's just see where this audition goes, huh? So what do you say? You ready for the chance of a lifetime? Terrific! We're holding auditions at the studio. Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
What do you think you're doing? I don't have time. Move along.
Is that supposed to be a model of the system? Not super accurate.
I once treated a lady who got her hand caught in the gears. Idiot was more worried about her rings than her fingers.
The dissidents actually took over the refinery. I can't believe it!
And then the chairman shot their space shuttle down with a Hammersmith grenade launcher. Incredible.
Are you two talking about the new dissident?
Funny that like all this other good stuff is just laying on the ground. They don't care if you take it, but like the ammo, they're like, it's mine.